Ladies and gents, welcome back. A protest was held yesterday in Toronto, Ontario at the College of Psychologists of Ontario. This was in response to the silencing or the censorship that they're trying to instill on Jordan Peterson, now a well-known public figure in the realm of intellectual thought. Not just a clinical psychologist, but what they've been doing and what they've been trying to do, apparently since 2018, was use the institution itself as an intimidation tool or a weapon against the professor of the Toronto University, or former professor of the Toronto University, as it may be. Here we have from Jordan Peterson breaking: the Ontario College of Psychologists has demanded that I submit myself to mandatory social media communication training with their experts for, among crimes, retweeting Pierre Poilievre and criticizing Justin Trudeau and his political allies. He also went on to clarify, it's been decided either I submit to social media communication retraining or face disciplinary hearing and possible suspension of my clinical license and the right to represent myself as a psychologist. And this is very, Elon Musk even tweeting out, this is extremely concerning. Now, the rally took place with hundreds of people outside and many speakers showed up. Here's a little clip of Maxime Bernier while he was there.
Freedom is the foundation of our civilization. So, if you want to turn a free country into an authoritarian one, how will you do it? What is the first freedom you will curtail? What is the first freedom?
Everybody agreeing there. Freedom of speech is the first thing to be curtailed. Now, Jordan Peterson tweeting out actually my video of an interview that I had with Stacy Cotter and Beth Ann Nodwell. They were promoters of this event. And he said, if you're not too busy this afternoon in Toronto, it's encouraging people to go down and lend their support for his cause, as, again, he's being harassed by this institution that's supposed to be there to make sure that, psychologists don't step out of the boundaries of what they're doing in their practice with clients. Now, this is not what they're actually doing. They're going after him for political speech that he had on the internet outside of the purview of what he does as a clinical psychologist. Now, many independent news media outlets are talking about this. Hundreds rally in support of Jordan Peterson outside the Ontario College of Psychologists after they call for his re-education. This comes from thepostmillennial.com. We also have Epoch Times talking about it. We have Western Standard talking about it. Rebel News wrote an article about it. We have here True North talking about it. And then we have here the Toronto Sun. Now, you'd be amiss to see, you wouldn't find it if you looked in Global News, CTV. I looked, I didn't find any articles. Correct me if I'm wrong, and please leave a comment in the comment section down below if I'm wrong about this. But I looked, and I didn't see any articles talking about this. This was actually quite an event. Protesters braved the cold back embattled Jordan Peterson. This again from the Toronto Sun. It started with summons from the College of Psychologists of Ontario directing Jordan Peterson to come in for retraining on how to better publicly tweet and communicate. Last time I checked, this is not the purview of the colleges when it comes to these licensing. But on Wednesday, the college was schooled on freedom of speech. The protest in front of the college offices on Eglinton Avenue West was loud. It was peaceful. The police were outstanding and the demonstrators law-abiding. As Peterson sent his own message. Well, actually, it was people sending the message on his behalf. He tweeted a video promoting the event with the message, if you're not too busy this afternoon in Toronto. The college hasn't commented, and this is just actually absurd of them to not even make a comment publicly about it, especially when they're talking about how to conduct yourself publicly. going outside of their own purview, but that definitely is not something that they're taking into consideration, their own public image here. Demonstrators made the point, while the CPO has regulatory authority over controversial clinical psychologist and former University of Toronto professor, it had no purview over them, even as the mercury dropped to -1 degree Celsius with a wind chill that made it feel like -6. A crowd of about 500 gathered in front of the college's office with the intention of doing some educating of their own. That's amazing. And of course, I'll leave the link in the description down below. You can read this whole article in its entirety. Go check it out, please. Here we have from Kanada on Twitter, tweeting out a video from the counter signal, and this is a ton of supporters gather in front of CPO, the CP Ontario, to support Jordan Peterson.
It's political repression that's happening to him, and that happened to other Canadians. So we must stop that. Living in a free country, you must not suppose to have regulations and legislations that are suppressing our speech, our freedom to speak.
I don't know how much time you have, and that's an excellent question. But if you wanted the short answer, the question would be, what does Jordan Peterson say that the government does agree with?
The government wants to shut down Jordan Peterson because he speaks out against Justin Trudeau in such an articulate manner. And he does it stingingly and painfully, and I think it bruises the ego of Trudeau and his Liberal minions.
It doesn't matter what your job is, you should be allowed to openly speak your mind. He's not spewing hate speech. I think he's just bringing up some really good talking points, and if Justin Trudeau doesn't like him, he should debate him publicly, and that's what I think. That's why I'm a big fan of public debate. If two people don't agree. Yeah, let the people decide who they agree with, you know?
Fantastic idea there. If Justin Trudeau and the College of Psychologists have an issue with the things that Jordan Peterson has to say publicly, because they're stepping outside of their own purview in this situation, perhaps they should actually publicly come and have a debate with him. Jordan Peterson also tweeting this out yesterday. Looks like it's time to free some more bank accounts, Justin Trudeau. And here's Harrison Faulkner's footage. He's, of course, from True North News. Here's some footage of him as the police are containing, and keeping people off of the roads as protests are taking place at the time yesterday in Toronto. Be sure to go check out as well. Greg Wycliffe was there live streaming this, and this is the footage here. I'll leave, again, a link in the description down below. You can check out, he has about 40 minutes of footage of what was going on at the time. So you can go see, just like during the convoy, you can go and see what was happening at the time. If you may hear reports later, maybe the news media and the mainstream media are struggling with the narrative right now. They haven't really decided what narrative to go with. So they haven't wrote any, they haven't been told by the government with the narrative, or somebody, a decision maker anyway. Anyway, leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think of this whole situation with Jordan Peterson and the College of Psychologists going outside of their purview and telling people what they can and cannot say on the internet. These are strange times for us indeed. Reminiscent of other times, maybe back in the 1930s in other parts of the world, where freedom of speech was stifled. Then, we had book burnings. We even, if you don't have to go that far back, actually in China, when they had the Cultural Revolution, and they were doing similar tactics. They were actually publicly shaming people for not unusual things, just actually holding their opinion. This is, well, it's a Marxist tactic, and this is, we've seen this before. Anyway, please leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think of this whole situation. If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, please consider today to be the day that you subscribe to the channel and join the many, many people as this channel is growing to support just getting the information out there as much as we possibly can. Anyway, we'll see you in the next one. Keep on trucking.